changed perspective on the internet. At the beginning of class, social media was just a resource for me to see what my friends were up to. People often work hard to create what is perceived as an authentic online presence that complements their offline persona or mirrors the image of themselves they seek to portray across media. When I read this part in our textbook for the class in Network and Theology, it made me immediately think of my own social media presence and how I kind of mirror myself and my persona and what that kind of looks like online. If you go to my Instagram page, you're going to see a lot of hikes. You're going to see accomplishments, because that's probably all I really post on there. I don't post much more than that, or if I might share something on my story of my friends doing something that I think is really cool, or other than that. And then you go to my Facebook, that's really just for me to see what my family is up to, because a lot of my family that's older than me, that's all they really use. And so that's my way to keep in track with that, and my high school classmates and things like that. After going through the class, I think it really depends on the church if they want to use what they want to use social media for. Social media has its problems, but should the church even try to use it was a question that I've taken away, and I think that depends on every single church. And how much social media affects teenagers. More teens say social media has a negative effect of people on their age than on them personally. 24 mostly positive, 45 neither positive nor negative, and 32 mostly negative. Them personally, 32, 59 said neither positive nor negative, and 9 said mostly negative. Now, this study was done in 2022. I would like to see a study of this done back when I was a teenager, back in middle school. I think it'd be really interesting to compare the numbers. I couldn't find anything to compare it to for back then. Because personally for me, I would say it's probably nor positive nor negative, and I'm just kind of surprised that people in this age range say it's mostly negative, and I wonder if that's just because they're a teenager, and when they get to college, they don't look at social media as much and that negative in a mostly negative light. Things I do now. So I try to unplug. This is another quote. You don't have to sacrifice your device. Small changes can make a big difference. And so some of those differences are setting time limits, constraints, not trying to get on your phone right away in the morning and putting your phone down at night. I have a time limit, so I'm only on certain apps for 15 minutes a day, and I've lowered that down from a lot. I used to spend 10 to 12 hours on my phone every day, and now I'm down to 3 to 4. Which I would still like to get down to 2, but it is what it is, and that's way better than spending half my day on it. I'm more aware and thinking through what I'm trying to accomplish through social media. So going into church work, I think I'm thinking more about what am I trying to accomplish on this platform with this social media, and the general audience, and how to use each platform properly. What should the church do? Technology may be easy to use, but users only get the world that others want them to have. So when a church makes a post, they need to realize that everyone in the world gets to see it, and they shouldn't just, they can foster to just that one thing, but they really shouldn't. They should foster to everyone and make sure everyone can be able to use it. The church should develop a community for people online and offline. Because the offline part, is coming to church and going to Bible studies. But what happens when someone is sick and they can't show up? Well, they have that online engagement then. So developing an online community and that offline so that it feels together and inclusive as one is a great way to do that. And it really depends on the congregation, the community they're trying to set up. The church should do outreach through social media, as it's just going to get bigger and bigger, and it's something that they should look into depending on where they're at geographically. My home church, personally, we don't have an online community. That's not something, with my church being a very older congregation, but we are very in-depth offline at church and doing things together, and that's something that I've seen that works very well for my church. But if my church was in the city and it was a bigger congregation with younger folks, we probably would have some online engagement, and that's just how that goes. Sources, we've got the Pew Research. We've got Network and Theology, Negotiating Faith in a Digital Culture, and Why Disconnecting from Your Phone is So Good for You and How to Do It article. Thanks for watching.